that down and out of the way, let's jump in and take a little bit of movie news.
What?
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 All right, you guys, let's talk about a few things that have popped up very recently in the news today. And first and foremost, NATO. That is not the North American, what's NATO? I can't remember what.
Do you want me to Google it? Because I also don't know.
Well, I know what this NATO stands for, but like in the traditional sense, like isn't it NATO? It's like the group of like countries.
It is the North Atlantic Treaty Organization.
That's what I was thinking of. That is not this NATO. There are two different NATOs. This particular NATO is the North American Theater Owners Association. So it should, I guess, be NATOA. But I guess that's a little too crazy. Anyway, NATO has put a call out to the masses, to the people, with a hashtag Save Your Cinema. If you are unaware of what's going on in the news right now, if you're unaware of what's going on in the world right now, there's a pandemic, right? Which means that we can't really go out and live our lives the way that we used to a year ago. And one of the huge hitters, one of the biggest, largest industries that is taking a massive hit that has not been able to get much help in that regard is Hollywood, is filmmaking, they are studios, they are cinemas themselves. And it all starts with the cinemas. Because here's the thing, guys. We all love movies. We all love television shows. But if the studios can't make money from these movies and television shows, then they can't make more movies, and our entertainment goes down. Now, I understand. This comes with a huge asterisk attached to it. Small potatoes, right? Like, there are bigger fish to fry right now. We have bigger problems in the world that exist. First of all, we're going in, this is an election year, so definitely get yourself registered, go out to vote. Second of all, there's a huge global pandemic. People are actually dying. It is important to wear your masks, to prevent the spread of more coronavirus. And the faster that we can get this thing squelched, the faster we can get back to living our lives. So this is why...
Good use of the word squelch.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So here's the thing. I understand that saving movie theaters in the grand scheme of things is small potatoes. However, this is not just a small little thing. This is a massive industry. There are hundreds of thousands of people whose livelihoods depend on the success of films and television shows. And it's not just actors. It's not just film studios. It's easy to look at studios like Disney or Warner Brothers or Paramount and say, you have more money than God. And of course, this is my 1930s. You've got, how dare you tell us you need more money? But that's kind of the reality, is if this industry dies, if this goes away, it starts with the movie theaters. And nobody's going to the theaters right now, understandably so. If the movie theaters can make it through the pandemic, they'll be fine. People are going to go back to the movies. In fact, we're starved for movies. The last film I saw in theaters was The Invisible Man with Kate Moss. Great film. I loved it. It was a wonderful experience. Other people didn't quite have the same experience. Some people went out to go see Trolls World Tour.
Speaking of, did you ever see, I don't mean to interrupt,
please.
but did you see, somebody posted a meme that was like, in all of the apocalypse movies, you see like the rundown city streets of like the old movie posters for whatever was last showing. And they're like, I never thought that ours would have been Trolls World Tour.
Oh, it's so
Like,
sad.
The zombies going by and like the happy trolls being like, hey, and it's just these dilapidated old
Oh,
posters.
it's so sad. But it's true though. It's true.
Yeah.
And so, like, here's the thing, you guys. I'm a huge advocate of people going back to the theaters. I personally, if movie theaters were to open in New York City, which they're currently closed right now, New York and Los Angeles, movie theaters are closed. I'm a huge advocate that if we can do it safely, if all moviegoers agree to, the certain set of wear your mask, wash your hands, social distance, if we all agree to this, I don't see the problem. But the problem is that not everybody agrees to this, which makes this coronavirus pandemic that much worse, and it just keeps getting dragged out. Katie, I don't know if you've had a chance to see this. By the way, your screen is frozen.
Oh, no.
Let's see if we can do anything to get your screen unfrozen.
I hope it's a really unflattering face that I'm making.
You're at a profile view and you're looking down. So
I'm taking notes. I want to be on top of it.
You are on top of it. All right. Well, I guess we'll just kind of wait and see if Katie's screen unfreezes itself. What if I turn
off and come back?
Yeah, try that. See what happens. Oh, there she is, live and in charge. Oh, of course, and it resized the screen. All right, so
I'm sorry, I ruined everything.
No, you're fine. We'll see if this... we'll kind of let it go for a moment. It's super annoying, but we'll see if things get back to normal. Katie, you're just seeing this. What are your initial thoughts of having the North American theater owners, email your congressman, get the word out, because if theaters don't recover soon, there's a very real possibility, an actual genuine real possibility, that movie theaters are going to close down permanently, and then we won't have any exhibitors to show these movies on, which means if they just go to streaming, they're not going to make the same amount of money that they would in theaters, and then we don't get any movies at all.
I honestly am in the middle, right? Where I hear what you're saying and I agree with you that this is all trickle down and it ends at the ticket takers, and they're the ones who are first to get, in trouble, right? But also, I think that we were in trouble before. Why were movie theater tickets in New York City, for example, $15 to $25 a piece? To go and sit in a dark room with strangers on either side of you talking on their cell phones. I haven't been to the movies really not regularly since MoviePass died. When MoviePass was a thing, I was like, this is awesome. And I went to see all the movies because it was affordable and fun. But I've been going to, there's a drive-in movie theater in Queens.
What?
And I
didn't know about this.
Oh yeah. And there's one in Brooklyn that's and then they're doing it up at Yankee Stadium. They're turning that into a drive-in. So there are other ways to have a similar experience, but not. But also I think that all of these big, huge, I think maybe AMC, maybe Regal, they'll close forever. But I think little mom and pop movie theaters, when it's safe, will reopen. Maybe not soon, but 10 years from now, they'll be like, let's open this little vaudeville house that shows movies 5 nights a week and does a comedy set on Saturdays or something. I see that happening more so than we'll never have movies again in the theater.
So what's your opinion on the North American theater owners telling people to write their congressmen and saying, hey, we need some kind of a bailout. If we don't make it through the pandemic, we're done. We're done for. AMC is the largest exhibitor in the world. Regal is owned by Cineworld in Europe, and they are the second largest exhibitor in the world. And if the top two, you say, yeah, okay, AMC and Regal, if they go away, that's a possibility. But the smaller mom and pop places, that means 30 to 40% of the box office is just gone.
Yeah, obviously, I think let's bail out all of the working people. But if our government, has given each person $1,200 and 7 months of unemployment, and as someone who has, 70% of my income is gone, I am still working a little, which thank goodness. But, my income for 2020 is going to actively be, I think, 30% of what it should have been. So, and the government doesn't care about the individuals. Mm-hmm. So it's on one hand, I'm like, well, then who cares about the big businesses? But what needs to happen is set some rules, help the tiny individuals, and then those rules will help the companies. Yeah. So I hear it, I support it, but I'm not going to write a letter about that. I'm going to write a letter about, a lot of other things.
Well, it's a good point. Anyway, guys, question is to you, what do you think of the North American theater owners asking the masses to write their congressmen and senators and saying, hey, listen, we need a bailout because if the theaters don't make it through, What's going to happen? Are you for it? Are you against it? Are you somewhere in the middle? Jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you like this video, click like. If you really like this video, click subscribe. And if you really, really like this video, click share. Because that is exactly what Jaws the shark would want you to do. Dun 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 dun.